Let me invite the head of service to say one or two to us.
Now head of service, by the grace of God. The pressure on land for the construction purpose is very high in the state. This is why people would acquire land without carrying out the due diligence as regards the status of the land. This apparently breeds haphazard development and encourages urban slums, which defaces the facade of the state and affects the aesthetic value of the state as well. The administration of Mr. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is doing its utmost best to ensure proper development which complies with planning standards and regulation. But it is disheartening that illegal developers still carry out their nefarious activities without minding the after effects of their actions on the environment. Activities of these people do not only affect the aesthetic values of the state, but also create an environmental hazard such as flooding, slum development, and existence of urban miscreants. All stakeholders here today are advised to ensure the following before embarking on projects. All property developers, as well as individuals, must first of all verify that the land is duly registered. I'm sure they've been told this throughout yesterday. The land must be duly registered at the Lands Bureau. Go to the Lands Bureau, make your inquiries. Go to the Office of the Surveyor General, make your inquiries. You're about to invest millions of naira, so you don't want to take chances. Thereafter, you must follow the proper channel when applying for building approvals and permits. This typically involves submission of detailed plans and documents to the appropriate regulatory agencies, especially the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. You must not only obtain a planning approval, it's not enough, you must adhere to the approval, what has been approved. So you don't just say I have an approval and then you go and do something else. They approve 4 floors, you do 5 floors, and you say you have an approval. You don't have an approval, you've negated that approval is now null and void because you've not followed it. Planning information as to the use applicable to any part of the state should be obtained from the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development as well. This will assist developers in taking the right decisions and ensure conformity with the provisions of the land use plan of the state. It is also advisable, like I said again, you must make sure that there is proper title to that land. All stakeholders on land familiarize themselves with the zoning regulations in the state to ensure that the land use is in accordance with the state's master plan. It needs to be noted that zoning helps allocate land for different purposes, such as residential, commercial, industrial, institutional, recreational, agricultural, etc. The environmental impact of land use decisions must be considered by all stakeholders. We must ensure that the development adheres to environmental standards, especially to areas prone to flooding and other environmental challenges. We must desist from illegal construction works on drainage channels and alignment. This is disastrous and affects not only the immediate environment but the state at large. The negative effects of this always affect lives and properties, and its damaging effects put so much pressure on economic activities of the state. The Ministry of Environment is doing a great job right now in demolishing properties that have been set back. Developers go, they cover drainage channels, they fill it up and sell it to unsuspecting clients and members of the public. They are the ones that bear the brunt of it because the developer has done his illegal development and he has sold it to an unsuspecting person and he has gone away with the cash. So I think Lasura may come in here. I'm thinking, should we mandate developers to register with Lasura? Because you have a situation right now where, maybe, let's say, you build in an estate and you buy, you give the money to the developer and he goes. Ministry of Environment comes and says, you've built on the road drainage channel. We should go after the developer as well, so that we can make restitution to the owner of the land that has parted with his hard-earned money. So we need to make developers accountable. It's not enough for them to sell and disappear. So we must be able to trace them, we must be able to locate them, because it is unfair that we don't go after the developer. The applicant that bought is an innocent, could be an innocent purchaser for value without notice. So the developer too, we should go after him and make him accountable. You're going to enjoy a reduced time frame in processing, building approvals, and also land title documents.